Hey, Emily, what is your current favorite Taylor song?
Oh, my
What are you
goodness.
listening to right now?
I'm so glad you asked. This is very everyday of me, but, like, recently I've been just listening to Taylor, like, exclusively.
Same.
And I know that she's, like, both of our favorite artists, and we just listen to her all the time, but it's been, like, so bad recently.
No, because I have other artists that I like, but I don't know. I'm trying to think. Once she started tour is when I haven't stopped listening to her since.
Exactly. And that's why it's very hard for me to pick one that I'm like, this is my hyperfixation.
I have a hyperfixation.
But I will say, I kind of do have one because Speak Now is coming out soon. And we can get into this later if you want to, but Speak Now is not my favorite album of all time.
Oh, she's dropping hot takes.
So, right off the bat, I just have to get that out there. Don't judge me for it. But I'm trying to get back into it, and I'm, like, really listening. So my fixation of this week, I would say, is Mean.
Okay.
The song Mean.
So that song, I was such a dramatic child, and, like, I wasn't a huge fan of my stepdad at the time, so that's, like, my dedicated song to him.
Oh my god.
And whenever I hear it, it takes me back to my bedroom, being, like, sitting there singing it with, like,
No, it's true. I feel like when the album came out, we were both at the perfect angsty, like, preteen age.
Like, yes, exactly.
Like, we're just, I hate it. Everyone's mean.
Gosh.
Someday I'm gonna be living in a big old city. Like,
and,
this
like,
is so relatable.
When I was a kid, I wanted to move to New York City so bad. So
didn't we all? Yeah.
Legitimately. So that song just really spoke to my soul.
Yeah.
So I love that that's what you're listening to.
It's so fun to go back and listen to. That's why I love the re-recordings too. I just love going back and
The nostalgia.
re-listening as an adult.
Yes.
And Mean, for me, I'm just like, this is,
it's great.
We love her.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stop listening to You're Losing Me.
Okay. Whoa. I almost teared up when you said that. I didn't know that was on the table. Got it.
Pathological people pleaser is the most relatable line I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
When the first time, so I had, oh my gosh, why am I crying?
If you cry, I'll cry.
So I was at MetLife night one.
Yeah.
Crazy. But I literally got tickets to that show at 2:00 and the show was at 6:30 and I live almost 2 hours away from MetLife. So there was no getting there early to get in line to get a CD.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to do? And so I went to that show with these kids that I've nannied for, like, 8 years. They're, like, the biggest... 8 years is dramatic. It's actually been 6. They're the biggest Taylor fans. Like, it was literally the best night ever. Which we can talk about that whole situation more later. But when... I woke up the next morning to a text from one of the kids, and she was like, she put You're Losing Me online, like, on digital download, like, you need to get it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how did you know before me? Like, what's going on? So I, like, instantly bought the digital download, because I'm crazy.
Of course.
And I just am actually obsessed with it.
Oh, it is such a good song.
Like, and this might be controversial, like, the chorus I could do without, but that bridge...
It's the bridge.
And I actually like the 2 verses, too. Mm-hmm. But the bridge I listened to the whole song for the bridge.
No, same.
That's how I feel about a lot of her songs, but... Pathological people pleaser just altered my brain chemistry.
Sometimes she just has those little, like, one-liners that's like, oh, jeez.
I always say this all the time when people... Like, when they're not fans, I'm like, you don't understand. No one can put a feeling into words better than this woman. Mm-hmm. No one.
It's true.
It's crazy.
Uh-huh. And it's like words that you wouldn't have even known to put together.
Pathological people pleaser? Come
like,
on. I would have never...
But together, I'm like, yeah.
I would have never put those words together. No. But it's actually perfect.
It is.
And I just love her so much.
Oh, God, I know. Can I tell you the first time I heard that song?
Yes,
I know
please.
It's recent. So... I wasn't going to MetLife because I didn't have tickets, and I don't want to talk about it.
I know.
But, so I decided to visit my friend in another city that weekend.
To distract from the depression.
I'm like, Taylor's in my state, so I need to get out.
Because I'm already sad.
Yeah. So I was, I stopped at the liquor store, of course, before I went down. And as I'm getting out, I'm, like, sitting in the parking lot, and I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing all these tweets about someone who was at the show and they just bought the CD and they were running back to their car because they were going to upload it and like try to get it on a Google Drive thing. And it's like 1, maybe 2 p.m. And I'm like, oh my god. So I'm refreshing Twitter like a crazy person, like waiting for this thing.
This is what she does to us.
Exactly. That ended up being the person was like messing with everyone and just like pissed everyone. It was actually so funny.
That's actually hilarious,
they were sitting in class bored and tweeting.
Stop
like,
it.
I have a CD. I'm running
Stop.
to the car. It was so funny looking back, but in the moment it was like whatever. Anyway, while that was happening, someone was actually uploading it, and they did like a Twitter. What are they called? Twitter Spaces, I think, or something. It's like you can go live, but just talking.
Oh, okay.
So people can listen in.
I'm so out of tune with Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter.
Confusing.
I legitimately re-downloaded Twitter for the Era Store and the purpose of getting tickets.
I mean, yeah. You know what you gotta do? Twitter sucks sometimes, but when it's useful in other times. Is. But so she was hosting this space, and the sound was awful, and I couldn't hear barely anything, and it felt so distorted, and I was like sitting there in my car, my Bluetooth speaker, and I'm like, this is the worst song I've ever heard. Oh. And I was like, Taylor, what is this? And then I was getting mad at Jack Antonoff because I'm like, he produced this, and da da da, and it's his fault, and I can't hear a thing. And then I'm like, okay, hold on. Someone is recording this on their phone from their car speaker that's on Twitter, and then Twitter is going through my speaker.
Right. It's just like a lot of layers here.
Yeah. And I was like so upset because I'm like, this is the first time we're hearing from Taylor, like, new stuff since the alleged breakup. Like, this could be huge. This is, like, her statement. And I was so afraid that I was going to hate the song. But then I heard it later on, and I was, like, full sobs. Yeah. Like, now I can, like, hear the lyrics. I'm hearing the production. I'm like, thank God this is, like, a good song.
And this might be controversial, but, like, I think it's so much better than Hits Different. I know a lot of people love Hits Different, and I don't...
Not a fan. Oh my god.
I think it's fine. It's just, I don't know, like, people are, like, freaking out. I think they just like the one line of, like, throwing up on the street or whatever, which is
relatable.
Great, like, love. But the rest of the song, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't listened to it enough. Sometimes I need things to grow on me. That's kind of how I was about Midnights. The first listen through, I was really critical.
Oh, no.
I was really critical. And then... it was so different than Folklore and Evermore, and I feel like Midnights is pretty different than anything she's ever done, personally. Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know, I was pretty critical, but now it's one of my favorites, so.
Yeah. Oh, the first listen through is always pretty brutal, because you're like, have all these high expectations for your favorite artist to like blow you out of the water.
I'm like, it needs to be the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah, but you're like, no one else can critique this, but I can, because I understand.
Correct, because if anybody else was talking bad about it, I would be like,
you don't like the same Taylor Swift as me.
Excuse me. Shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. But, that Midnights has grown on me a lot. But anyway.
Good. How did we get here?
I don't know how we got here.
We love it.
We got here, but somehow. So, Emily, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, we're jumping right into it.
Yeah, we gotta dive in.
Well, I am a Taylor Swift fan for a living, that's for sure.
That's honestly goals.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. It feels a little pathetic and delusional, but it's kind of true. I mean, I love it. So, essentially, I am an artist. I make digital art, graphic design type things. That's my job. I've been doing it for almost 3 years now. 3 years in August.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I know, yeah, wild. So that's where my life has been. I do a lot of like Taylor Swift inspired art and stuff like that, and I post a lot on TikTok and Instagram, and that's where you can find me 24/7, basically. That's my whole life.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, what do you do with your life?
Well, I do lots of things with my life. It's like, people are always like, what do you do? I'm like, well, the short answer is I'm a photographer, but I have my hand in a lot of different pots. I'm a wedding photographer, I would say primarily. That's like what I do the most of. And then I also work for a women's clothing store. It's called Maggie Page, and I do all their product photography, and I'm their social media manager. And I still do nanny a little bit, just like 2 days a week. That's what I did for like years. And now, well, as I was like building my business and all that, that's what I did. to pay the bills. But now I just love the kids. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like hard to
I can
stop
imagine.
doing. But they're all grown, so they don't need me as much anymore.
They'll always need you.
Stop. I'll cry. But yeah. So that's really the short version of what I do.
Full.
I do.
You do a lot.
It's crazy.
I feel like we're very similar in that way.
I like being busy. Some days I like, why do you do this to yourself? Like, you do not need to have this many jobs. But then I'm like, it's fine. I like the hustle and bustle of things.
No, I'm totally the same way. I'm such a little worker.
Yeah, so then we add something else on a plate. Like
no,
the
exactly.
podcast.
And I'm like, oh, you want to do more things? Yes, sign me
Let's
up.
do it.
I love doing more things.
So I need to know what you thought. Well, the whole podcast thing, I don't remember. Did I text you first, or did I say something to you about it in person first?
You said something in person.
Oh, yeah, because we were... Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell the story? I would love to hear it from your perspective.
Like the whole story?
The whole story.
Wow. So, Taylor Swift decided to play 3 shows in Philadelphia on the Eras Tour.
Amazing.
Which is...
What an honor.
Which we are from New Jersey, so that's like our hometown. Philly's right there.
Yeah,
right?
we're from South Jersey. So
Yeah.
I know she played a show in North Jersey, but we're way closer to Philly than we are to MetLife. So Philly is our hometown show.
So close, so it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she did that, and me being delusional decided one day, since Philadelphia is such a fantastic city full of art and culture and beautiful things, that because Taylor is kind of from the area, she's from Reading, Pennsylvania, she needs to have a mural in the city.
For her hometown show.
Exactly. For her, like her little homecoming, welcome home, Taylor. Here's a mural that we painted for you. And I thought that'd be really dope. Thought it'd be really sick to paint it myself, but never thought that would happen because I'm not a painter and I've never done anything like that before. So I just threw it out there in the universe like any delusional person would, and
Correct.
just said, someone help me. Hey, Philadelphia. Hey, at Philadelphia. Where do I get the wall space to do
the whole
this?
city.
Yeah, literally. I was
let me
like,
know.
who in the city? I'm tagging the governor. I'm tagging everyone I can possibly think of. I'm like, somebody help me. So a radio station, Q102, we love them, shout out, reached out to me and said, hey, we're going to make this happen for you. And I'm like, what? You're kidding. The show's in a week. What? Because I
That
had
was
posted...
the craziest part.
I know.
Literally, from start to finish, a week.
Yeah, yes, literally. Because I had posted that video like a month out, and I
Yeah.
thought that was last minute. I'm like, no one's going to have the time to like coordinate this with me, whatever. But like, again, delusional. So that happens, get the approval, and we're like, okay, oh my god, good to go. So I'm like posting cryptic things about it because I'm like, I don't know if I can say anything. Also, like, I don't want to tell people in case it turns out bad.
Right, or
and,
it doesn't work out the way I wanted to.
Because I've never done this before and I was very scared. So Serena picked up on my hint dropping that this was happening, texted me and said, I want to help.
I'm like, what is going? What do you need? Like,
You're like, I think this is happening. Can you confirm and can I come? And I'm like, actually, yes, I need help.
I'm like, I need to see this happening.
Yeah. So after I got the final details and I got the wall space and I got like a background layer down and I had a design, I pulled in some reinforcements. So I got Serena, I got another friend of mine, Natalie, and my mom, and both my parents really wanted to come and help.
Yeah.
So I pulled in reinforcements. We went and we painted for like 8 hours or
Days.
something. It was ridiculous this one day.
Crazy.
And Serena came and was the biggest help. Could not have done it without her.
I mean, I painted her name, so
yeah.
pretty much I was the most important part of the whole
She's
ordeal.
the reason Taylor was welcomed.
Correct.
Basically. Which is really fun. So naturally, as we're painting, we're kind of just talking about Taylor Swift and
As we
everything
do.
and what we're doing in life. And Serena's like, well, I've been thinking a Taylor Swift podcast would be like so fun. And I was like, oh my god, it would. And then
Correct.
Nothing really...
And Emily's the only person I know that's delusional as me. So,
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's true. And it's worth noting, too, we've known each other in real life
For years.
like, almost our entire life. Like, well, very long
We
time.
grew up going to, like, camps together.
Yeah.
For years. But do you want to know I used to be scared of you and your friends?
Oh, I was scared of you, too.
Good. I love that for us.
I was scared of everyone, to be fair. I was just like...
I was never really scared of you personally, but your friend group, a little intimidating.
Yeah, well... I don't think they were intimidating, but that's because I like grew up with them. But no, it is very difficult to like... Because the camps that we would go to, I feel like lots of big groups came.
And I didn't go to any of... Like, I wasn't a part of any of the big groups.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
Aw.
scary.
If I could go back in time, I'd reach out. Reel you in.
Could you imagine? Oh
because I was just like, I still am so, I'm not quiet now.
I feel like you were pretty quiet until you get to know you kind of thing. Yeah. But you were definitely more shy when we were younger.
Oh, for sure. And I was just scared of any new people at all. But if you, like, wanted to be my friend, I was, like, on board.
Cool. Yeah. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
So funny.
But yeah, so that's how that happened. And I think the next day or a few days later, you had texted me and said, like, just tell me if this is a bad idea, but I think we should do it. And I was like, it's not a bad idea. I love talking about Taylor Swift.
And I just feel like, so ever since this tour started, and, like, I went, and I was very lucky to have gone to 3 shows, which is crazy, because I didn't get tickets in the original sale. Like, I did not have tickets from Ticketmaster, like, when they went on sale in, when was that? November. Yeah. I didn't have tickets till January. We got them through, like, the email ordeal. I can explain the whole traumatic event if we want to talk about it later, but, so I just still, it feels like a fever dream that I went to 3 shows, but I just feel I was saying to Emily, like, stuck in this, like, Eras Tour era. Like, I just can't, I listen to Secret songs every weekend. I can't stop, it's all I think about, that's all I listen to. It's all, my entire For You page is legitimately.
I feel like it was right there.
It does feel like it was right there.
This is a great microphone.
Not the trash truck picking up the trash outside of my house.
Our first guest.
Yeah, the real question is, do we leave this in there or do we cut it out?
You have to listen back. A little blooper reel.
Oh, that was so funny. Okay, so I don't even remember what I was saying.
For You page.
Oh, literally, yeah. Bubble. My entire For You page is simply just Taylor. Like, it's become my life. I live here now.
Mm-hmm. And I stayed there.
That's exactly how I feel. And, like, my 2 friends that I went to the show with are, like, back to living their normal life. And, like, when I, like, get in the car with either one of them and they, like, have something else on, I'm like, I look at them in disgust, like, what are you doing? We're still only listening to Taylor, right? Like, and, like, I love the Jonas Brothers. They just put out a new album. I haven't listened to a single song.
You don't have the time right now.
No,
you just do not have the time or headspace.
It's strictly Taylor. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's all I have to give. No, that is
so real. Like, Taylor, I think, posted recently, was it, like, an Instagram post or something? And she was like, oh, the Eras Tour is my entire personality or something.
And I was like,
we were
same.
Like, same. Mother.
Glad you relate. No, when she talked about mothering on this tour, I was
there.
Deceased. What
with my mother.
Oh, was it Mother's
Day?
I couldn't remember.
I know, because I was telling my mom, or no, I always say, like, oh, Taylor's my mother. Like, I joke about that all the time in front of my biological mother.
And she's like, not funny. Like, I did a lot of trauma to have you here.
Yeah. She's like, I'm your mother. So then when Taylor was giving her Mother's Day speech on Mother's Day, and I'm there with my mother, and at the end, she's like, oh, you know the thing you guys always say, like, mother is mothering? My mom looked at me and went, like, oh my God, she sees what you're saying. And I'm like, I promise, like, it's the whole internet.
We all say this. It's not just me, Mom.
Yeah. It was so funny, though, when she said that.
That was very a millennial moment for her. It was the most millennial thing I actually think I've ever seen her do.
Yeah.
And I live for it.
Yeah. She's funny.
She is funny, because we're both on that cusp of, like, Gen Z millennial. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think technically, I don't know, I was born in 96, so I don't know what the technical...
I hear different things all the time, because I was born in 95, and I hear that 95 is the cutoff, and then I hear that 98 is the cutoff.
Yeah, so I don't know what the real cutoff is, but we're right on the cusp of the two. So I feel like we're in a unique...
I call myself Gen Z, because I'm like...
I feel like...
I'm done with the young...
We're the old Gen Z.
Yeah, we are. We're like the Gen Z that the Gen Z doesn't want to associate with.
Right, like we might be actually millennials and they're embarrassed.
We totally... Oh my God, we totally are. Ew, now I'm going to stop saying I'm Gen Z.
I'm just going to say that it doesn't matter.
But I also say slay, like, too much. So... I feel like that puts me in another category.
So, when you say slay, it cracks me up because the oldest of the little girls that I nanny is obsessed with the word slay. Oh my God. So when you say it, I just hear her saying it, and I'm like, this is great. Oh, gosh.
See, I'm hip. Look at that.
She's down with the youngins. Mm-hmm. She knows.
Yeah.
I get all my hipness from TikTok. That's it.
Yeah.
And I do feel like us having TikTok makes us more Gen Z, because I've seen a lot of, like, the meme of, like, I don't have TikTok, I just watch all the videos on Instagram like a real adult. And I'm like, yeah, but then you're 3 months behind, so.
Real.
Sorry.
I've never intentionally sat and watched Instagram Reels.
No, me neither. I use them for, like, my business.
Yeah.
But, like...
Oh, I'll post some.
But watch them? No, the only time I watch Instagram Reels is if I need to post one. I'm like, what's going on?
Looking for the trends?
I just need to find the trending audio.
You just think of what was trendy 3 months ago.
On TikTok, right, and then just go
then you
from
find
there.
the audio. No, that's so funny.
Gosh.
It's so true, though, because my other friends, like, in real life, don't have social media. I can name on, like, 2 fingers people that I know that have social media. It's like all my friends are so millennial.
That's crazy. All my friends have social media. I can't think of any that don't.
Wow. I have a hard time thinking of people that do.
That's
Isn't
crazy.
That crazy?
I don't have any friends really other than you that like it as much as I do per se, but everybody kind of uses it.
Yeah, like my friends will look at me like I'm crazy. Like I don't think they fully understand what I do for a living.
Okay.
They're like, oh, you draw, but like how are you making money off of that?
Like,
and I'm like, well, it's like the internet, like social media.
Right.
And you know, in their minds they're like, oh, that's such like a young like TikTok is so
that's
dancing
so weird,
and, like,
because
trendy.
like our age group is like the age group of people that started making money on the internet.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, and like there's some YouTubers that are like a couple years older than us. Like if you think about the big YouTube names, like the OGs, they're all like 32-ish now. So they're only like 5-ish years older than us. So you would think they would all be like, weird.
You know, yeah, that's why I always feel so conflicted.
Yeah.
Like,
the internet's hard sometimes. I'm a little nervous to give controversial opinions.
Please. Oh, on the internet? I thought you meant right now. I was like, drop it.
On here, I don't care. Podcasting feels... Exactly. Podcasting feels fake. Like, it doesn't feel like it's actually going on the internet.
Listening to this.
No, they're not.
It's just us.
It's
talking.
Legitimately going to be just us.
Yeah.
And our moms listening to it.
Oh, no. Hi, Sharon.
Hey, Mel. Oh, gosh, it's so funny.
Excited. Oh, boy.
Okay,
should we get back to Taylor Swift?
Yes.
The real,
the reason we're here.
That we live and breathe, honestly, these days.
Actually, the only reason I live and breathe.
Honestly.
The only reason I wake up.
Yeah.
I feel like I love when she's on tour because we're getting so much of her. Like, more than ever. But I watched Miss Americana again the other day. I just get in these moods where I like I need to something. I need something to feel. And I need another documentary from her.
Oh, I know.
I need another one. Actually, can she just start a TV series?
No, for real.
Like, I know she like wants to be private, but like
even if it's like a super scripted, curated documentary,
please,
I don't care.
Just
give it to me. Yeah.
Just something.
Literally. I was thinking the other day, I don't know if you were into this at the time, but when Taylor did her Fearless tour and she vlogged like all the time. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember it. And what a time to be alive.
I know, because I would always come home from, I think I was in high school, like, you know, do my homework like a good student, and then sit down at the computer, go to youtube.com/Taylor Swift, and then see if she uploaded. And I would just, like wait every day.
What a time to be a Swiftie.
That was so iconic. And I was really hoping when she made the Eras Tour announcement, I'm like, she should go back, like, to that time. It's the Eras Tour.
Like,
and
please.
Give us something.
Something,
she
please.
is doing so freaking much in these, like, past couple of years.
She is doing so much, but, like,
I want to see the behind the scenes of it.
Yes, I want to see...
You know what, Taylor, if you're listening, hire us because we'll document it for you.
Oh my gosh.
You don't have to do anything.
No, we'll do everything.
We can edit.
You can just watch it at the end. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to watch it. You can let Trey watch it. Yeah. And if she clears it, we'll post it. It's fine. Mm-hmm.
Trey. Us and Trey, we'll be the
best. We'd get along so great.
Ever.
We'd get along so well.
So well.
Oh, I just need her to do that again. Even if it was, like, short form. Like, it could be TikTok vlogs.
Yes,
come on. Like, we don't need it to be, like, crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, please. Because I just know the behind the scenes of the whole Eras tour. I really hope that she's doing something. Everyone's like, we're going to get another, like, recorded concert, like, Reputation. But I kind of hope they do something with, like, the planning of it and everything.
Oh my God, yeah.
And, like, how she... I don't understand how she, like, picked the songs and all the things. Like,
yeah, picking the set list. The way that they bedazzled her guitar. Like, her parents just, like, sat there.
Her parents are gems.
Icons.
At MetLife Night 1, Andrea was as close to me as you are right now.
Oh, my God.
She walked right... So, we were in, like... We were right by the celebrity tent with, like, the last, like, few rows, and she must have been, like, in the tent, and they were moving her up to the suite, so they were, like, walking her through. It happened so fast, I didn't even, like, get a picture of her or anything, but she was so close. I could have touched her. Like, she was so close to me, and she, like, waved at us, and it was...
Oh, precious. But I love how her parents are both so involved in the tour, too.
I know.
Like, they're there every night. I'm sure they do so much behind the scenes.
I can't even imagine.
Help her, like... Just like she said, it's a small family business that they run.
Oh, yeah. No big deal. It's so small.
Yeah. I would love to know what goes into it. That's what's interesting to me. And I want to know, I want a tour of, like, her costumes. I want to see the quick changes.
The quick changes blow my mind. She has to, like... quick. It's crazy. There has to be, like, when she puts that Speak Now dress on, she definitely has the 1989 stuff just, like, half pulled down. Like, there's no way she's completely changing. Like, some of them are so... fast. I'm like, literally how?
She has layers on layers.
Yes, it's crazy.
I would love to see it.
I saw a TikTok of, like, where they were standing. I'd never seen this view before, of when she drops behind the umbrellas for the midnight rain
I think
change.
I saw the same one.
And I was like, oh my gosh, how is there a zipper on that? It's crazy. I guess because we're just not that close to it to see it, but I was expecting she just pulled it over her head.
Yeah.
But... No,
logistically.
And imagine being the dancer, the pressure.
I was just going to say that.
He has to catch her and then unzip it in, like, what, 6
and then
seconds?
Hide it. Where does it go after that?
Where does it go?
So I saw a comment that someone was like, oh my God, one of those dancers definitely shoved it down their pants, and I want to know who it is.
Honestly.
I'm like, honestly.
Where else does it go?
It's not like there's a trap door that we know of, at least right
there.
No,
and even if there was a trap door there, like, it's so fast.
It is.
And that's one of my favorite moments of the show when she does that, because it's very reminiscent of 1989 and the umbrellas that were in 1989.
Yeah. It's the Everest tour. She's making all these, like, callbacks.
I know. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. Even, like, I would love to have the concert recorded so I can watch it again, but just seeing the behind the scenes is, like, really what I
want to see the behind the scenes, too, because I've seen the concert so many times.
Yeah, I'm familiar at this point.
Yes, but... We need to talk about this for a second. We've kind of gone on a tangent about the Everest tour, which is just literally...
I'm just going to adjust myself.
But Emily was at the first night.
I was at the first 2 nights.
And I'm actually sick about it because the thought of going to opening night legitimately never crossed my mind. Like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I think of that? But I'm so...
Yeah.
Beside myself.
No, it was insane. It was the most magical.
I just, like, know the feeling of, like, my first show, and I knew everything that was going to happen. At that point, I had watched multiple live streams, seen multiple... I can't imagine not knowing what was happening. Your videos and your reactions...
Me just, like, absolutely sobbing. Oh, my God. When she announced the tour, before we knew that the Ticketmaster thing was going to be a complete disaster, I was plotting going to, like, 10 shows. I'm like, okay, obviously I'm doing all the Philly shows. I have to go to opening night. I'm going to go to closing night. I love Nashville. I'm going to go to Nashville. Oh, I love Chicago. I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm planning all these things, and I'm like, okay, so I'll get tickets for this one. My sister will get tickets for this one. My friend will get tickets.
Oh, yeah. So I was, like, plotting who was getting tickets where. I was definitely intending on going to multiple shows, but I don't know why the thought of opening night never crossed my mind.
That's so interesting.
I'm still so mad about it.
That was my hyperfixation for months. I said, Arizona or bust. Like, I am going there, and I don't care. I don't care what it takes. Like, that's my... And I came to a point where, when Ticketmaster was being such a problem, I was like, screw my hometown. I don't need to go in Philly. I'm going to Arizona.
I'm going to Arizona.
Nothing is stopping me from doing that. And I got so lucky on the day tickets went on sale. I ended up getting tickets to opening night and night 2. And my sister ended up getting tickets for Philly. So it was like, immediately I had 3 shows lined up.
Oh my gosh. Should we talk about Ticketmaster? Not a deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So I want to just... I just can't understand why. No, I can understand why, because the ultimate answer is they make a lot of money. But, like, even... Okay, when Harry Styles... you saw Harry, right, when he was here?
Yeah.
The way they sold Harry Styles tickets made so much more sense than this did. Because, and I understand the way that Harry toured was different. Like, he was doing almost like mini residencies. Like, he did, like, what was it, like 15 shows in New York, 15 shows in LA, and like 5 in 2 other cities. Like, it was very, he was in one place for a very long time. But the timing was staggered. So when you sign up for a presale code, me and my friend that were trying to get tickets, her presale code was for like 12 and mine was for like 3.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, see, I didn't know this.
Did you buy them resale?
No.
No. Okay, I guess, well, if you were only the only one trying to get tickets, you just got a time, so you didn't know. So what they did was...
Oh, no, I had American Express.
Okay, so you did it completely different. So you didn't do it through Verified Fan.
Because I don't think I got verified.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with Verified Fan for Harry, what they did was, depending on which show you picked, depending on which show you got, you had a different time slot. So her time slot, we had the same, it was over multiple days and multiple different time slots. So we had gotten verified for 2 different shows, so we had 2 different time slots. So she got tickets in her time slot, so I didn't even try. I was just like, because I wasn't intending on going more than once. Like, she got the ticket, which I wish I, in hindsight, should have went more than once, but whatever. You know, hindsight's always 20/20. I've now learned that I can't see a show just once.
Oh, same.
I
went to Level Tour 3 nights in a row. In a row. My body was like, we are 27, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We can't
do this anymore. But, so, her time, like I said, her time slot was at, like, noon. Mine was at, like, 3 o'clock. That, I don't understand. Like, they should have done it by...
like the different, the day she's in the city, you're saying.
Right. Or, so, even if it was, like, the East Coast, so she, obviously, it was different time zones, so different times for different things, but it should have been broken up, like, the East Coast had, like, 3 different time slots. Like, whatever, New England area, your tickets are going on sale at 12.
Ticketmaster demand.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
To avoid all of the drama.
Honestly, that would have made a lot of sense. See, I'm like, well, that's a bad idea, because then fans are going to try and get tickets for every show, because it's like, oh, if Philly's at 2 and Boston's at 3, then I can do both.
I can do both.
But it would make the most sense.
It just, they need to figure it. And it also, the fact that you didn't have to put an access code in to get into the queue is literally the most idiotic thing I've ever heard of. That would have solved all the problems right there, honestly. Your access code goes in before you get into the queue. Like, that's just, like, literally basic common sense. But anyway.
Who fumbled? Someone at Ticketmaster.
But they don't, whatever.
Yeah.
So the day of the show, the day of the sale, I had a presale code, my best friend had a presale code, my other best friend had a presale code, my mom never got verified. Like, these are all the people I made do this. So we had 3 access codes. So me and my friend Kelly were at her house with 3 computers and our 3 access codes, like, ready to go. Like, literally on Ticketmaster at, like, 8:30 a.m., like, ready. I get on, we get in, we're fine, we're waiting in the queue. We were, like, I would say probably the first, I don't know, maybe 5,000 people in the queue, roughly. It said 2,000 plus, but we didn't wait that long to get through. When I got through to pick tickets, the first thing that happened was it kept telling me my access code was wrong.
Oh, you were one of those. Oh, no. I know people on the internet were pissed about that.
What do you mean the access code's wrong? Yeah. So then I'm, like, trying to use other ones that we had, because I think I ended up having 4 different access codes. But then you have to change the account. It's just, like, a mess. Oh, so I eventually get through with one of the access codes, and then Ticketmaster freezes their website.
Yeah, for 8
So
hours.
I get through, and if they freeze the website. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'm in. As soon as they open the website, I'll be fine. LOL. 5 hours later, when they opened the site, they kicked me out. So now I'm in the back of the line.
On all of your computers?
All of them. They kicked us out on all of them. So then we're now in the back of the line. So by the time we get through to the front again, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
It's gone. They're gone.
That is, like, the most heartbreaking
And there were so many times that, like, I would have tickets, and then you would click, and it would be like, sorry, another fan got to them first. It just kept saying that. At one point, I had 4 $900 tickets in my cart. I was buying them. I was ready to go. My Capital One card declines the transaction because I don't spend $4,000 at once ever. Yeah. So they declined it, and I lost them.
That is horrible. They should at least text you and be like, hey, is this you?
Yeah,
and then you can be like, yes.
Yeah, they declined it. And it was literally heartbreaking. So the first day, no tickets. I'm like, whatever. I have a Capital One card. It's fine. I'm going to do Capital One presale tomorrow. at this point, when I was originally trying to go, like, before we knew it was going to be crazy, I was planning on going to all 3 nights of Philly, with my one friend, like, my one group of friends. We were all gonna, like, we were trying for floor seats night 1. Then night 2, I was gonna go with another girl, and then night 3, I was planning on taking the kids, their mom and my mom, like, for the Mother's Day show. I was like, this would be fun, because my mom and their mom are friends. That's how I know them. So I was like, that'll be great. Fine. Yeah. LOL. At this point, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to take whatever I can get. I'm just going to try and buy as many tickets, and whoever wants, I'll figure out who I'm going with after the fact. So Capital One presale was just as bad as the other one. The only thing that was better about Capital One was it was less time. Like, the first day I was on the computer from, like, 8:30 a.m. to, like, 6 p.m. The Capital One, it happened much quicker. It was, like, a matter of, like, 2 hours when they were, like, we're done with this. And then I was like, it's fine. I have general sale. It's fine. I'm gonna be fine. Then they cancel general sale.
Yeah. Yep. I think every Swiftie can relate to that.
So I was just like
sinking feeling of knowing there's no hope.
Great. I'm like,
simply no hope.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And like, my mom and my best friend were like, you're gonna go. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, it's fine. And I'm like, how am I gonna go? I knew resale was gonna be insane. The second I saw how bad Ticketmaster was, I knew resale was gonna be horrible. But then we were all like, it's fine. The resale is crazy, but it'll drop as the shows come.
Because it usually does.
And yeah, I'm like, they're just like...
in the past.
And it's crazy because I bought Loverfest tickets on resale because I couldn't... The day of the actual sale, I don't remember. I think I had a wedding, so I couldn't be on the computer and get them. So I bought 2 100-level resale tickets for Loverfest for $250 a ticket.
Oh my god. Wow. Back in the day.
You can't even buy obstructed view for $250 right now.
Forget it.
I was like,
you can't get in the parking lot for $200 basically.
Literally crazy. So then, let's fast forward to January. Me and my friend Riley get a text that we can apply for tickets. So this is how I ended up with tickets for 2 nights originally. Which, that whole situation was fine. And if everybody that, like, applied for tickets got them, from, like, what I understood. From, like, Twitter... Not Twitter, I wasn't on Twitter at the time. TikTok and, like, Facebook groups that I'm in. It seems like everybody that did that got tickets. So, at that time, me and my friend Riley both wanted to go really bad. And then my other friend wanted to go. She wanted to go so bad. And I felt... It was just so sad that she didn't have a chance to get tickets or whatever. So, I had gotten the text about filling out an application for tickets, and so did Riley. So I was like, okay, I'll give my tickets to my friend, and then me and Riley will go on his tickets.
So kind.
I know. I was trying to be nice.
No, that is very nice.
So I, like, asked her what price bracket she was comfortable with, like, picked that for her. Me and Riley were like, yeah, we're crazy, we don't care, the most expensive one, I want to be as close as possible. We both get tickets, and then my friend that I got them for ended up changing her mind that she didn't want them. So I'm like, cool, I'm going 2 nights now.
It's so lucky that you did it for 2 different shows.
2 different shows. It was just, we just got lucky.
Yeah.
And we didn't, like, do that on purpose. It's just, like, we didn't know that this was going to happen. We were just, like,
there was no
kind of going for anything. Yeah.
It was just grasping at straws, desperate at this point for anything.
Exactly. So it worked out for us that we had 2 different shows and got to go. So that's how I got my tickets originally. And then how I went to the 3rd show is actually crazy.
It is.
Did I tell you the story?
I saw on social media, like, vaguely.
Okay, so
I want to hear it in detail.
It was actually insane. So, as the shows come on, we all see Ticketmasters doing drops, which actually is something they always do. This isn't, like, something they've just done for Taylor. It's something that they've always done. Because it's, like, once they have the stadium set up, they can see, like, oh, we can add extra seats to the floor. We can open up these obstructed view seats, whatever. This isn't, like, a new thing. Ticketmaster's done this for multiple artists for years. So... I had been following Eras Tour Tix on Twitter. Shout out to them.
We love that.
Because they were really, like, just giving us all the information we needed. And people on TikTok, like, explaining how to get in, whatever. So I had been on the computer that, literally, in this room that we're in right now, on my laptop and on my desktop, I had 3 windows open on each computer. Refreshing, because the kids were actually devastated that I couldn't get them tickets. They were so sad, and I didn't tell them that I was going for, like, a long time. Because I knew they were going to be so sad. And, like, the whole, I don't know how familiar you guys are with this, but when you applied for tickets, you could only apply for 2. There's 3 kids. I couldn't pick just one. There was, you know what I mean? So it was like...
Battle it out.
Right. And there was no, like... It was just like, I can't take them. So it was like, they were really sad. And it was really hard to, like, deal with. And it was just, it was sad. So... I knew I was trying to get 4 tickets to take them. Like I said, I was sitting on my computer all day, and, like, a few times the seat map, like, popped up, and I had grabbed tickets, but I never got to check out fast enough. And then cut in my friend Lindsay, who, shout out, she is the best person on planet Earth. I love her so much. Yes. Literally, my queen. She had texted me that morning and was like, hey, are you still trying to get tickets? I was like, yes. And she's like, all right, I'm, like, going to the gym. I have a couple things to do this morning, but as soon as I get home, I'll hop on. And I was like, okay, cool. So she just happened to just get on Ticketmaster at the perfect time because I had been sitting there all day with auto refresh on all these tabs, and it had refreshed that the queue was opening, and I was still waiting for, like, my number in the queue, and she calls me and was like, I have 4 tickets in my car.
Oh my god.
And she's
it's always
like,
the people who do it so casually.
It was
like,
so,
hey, I got them.
She's like, I have 4 tickets in my car right now. Do you want them? And I was like, absolutely. She's like, they're $500 a piece. I said, I don't care, buy them. Yeah. She's like, all right, the total's like $2,073.92. I'm like, I actually
What's your
don't care.
Yeah.
Like, literally buy them right now. I don't care. So she buys them. I am, like, freaking out. I'm sobbing in this room. Like, she's like, what are you gonna wear? What do you do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna wear? I'm like, I don't know. I run out of my room. My mom is in our backyard, like, gardening. I'm like, Mom, Lindsay got tickets. I'm, like, crying, definitely cursing, yelling, screaming, like, sobbing.
And this is day of.
Day of, 1:56 to be exact. And then I'm like, Lindsay, I'll call you back. I hang up on her. I call the kids' dads, and I'm like, I got effing Taylor Swift tickets. And he's like, what? For who? I was like, your kids! What do you mean for who? I'm, like, yelling, and he's like, okay. I'm like, I got the tickets, like, I'm gonna come get them. I'm like, whatever. I'm, like, in complete, like, crazy, like, don't even know what's happening. I hang up with him. I call Lindsay back. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna wear. I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm wearing my freaking Eras Tour blue crew neck.
Yes.
And I have, like, a tennis skirt. Like, that's what I wore. I did my makeup in, like, 2 seconds. By 2:24, I was in the car driving to go get the kids from school. Because at that point,
it literally doesn't matter. You're like, I'm in the same room as Taylor Swift.
I don't care. I've already seen this twice. I already did outfits twice. Like, I don't care. So, I get in the car. I call their dad back. I'm like, I'm so sorry for calling you and screaming at you. I was just freaking out. Can you call the kids' school? I'm coming to get them right now. And he's like, yep, got it. Aww. So I hang up with him. He calls their school, and he calls me back, and he's like, I just got off the phone. I told them to have them in the office ready at 3 o'clock, like, to go.
Yeah. And
they normally get out at, like, 3:10. So I get to their school, and they're the last 2 kids to walk out of the school at 3:20.
Oh my god!
Because
did they know what was happening?
No, they don't know at this point. And their older daughter is in middle school, so she was already home. She gets home earlier than them. So I pick them up, and I don't ever pick them up from school. Like, so they're like, what happened? What are you doing here? I was just like, I just texted Mom that I was gonna come get you guys. We're gonna, like, live stream the tour tonight because we couldn't get tickets. Like, it stinks, but, like, I want you guys to watch it, whatever, because they had only seen, like, clips on social media. They hadn't, like, watched the live stream. And they were like, okay, that sounds fun. I was like, Mom said we can order pizza. Like, that's what we're gonna do. They totally believed me.
I'm, like, gonna cry.
I know. It was crazy. So we drive home, and then their mom had been texting me. She's like, if you can wait till I get home to tell them, like, please do. Like, because she wanted to, like, be there when I told them. Because she knew. The woman almost got scammed buying tickets. Ugh. Like, it was a mess. So I get to their house, I get them all in one room, and I'm like, guys, do you want to go see the Eras Tour tonight? And I start crying. They're screaming, they're hugging me, like, freaking out. And mind you, I picked up the 2 younger kids. It was their field day at school. So they're both covered in, like, paint and dirt and sweat and sunscreen. They're disgusting. I'm like, you guys have to go get in the shower right now. So they run upstairs, they shower. Their youngest is a boy, and he's like, can you pick out my outfit for me? And I'm, like, getting their outfits. I had bought them all, like, merch when I went, so they all wore their merch. And it was just crazy. Like, I did the girls' hair real quick. They're trying to, like, put on, like, sparkly eyeshadow, like, trying to, like, because they had seen, and it was really sweet.
They're gonna remember that day literally forever.
I hope so.
Imagine just being picked up from school and given Taylor Swift tickets.
We're going to the Eras Tour. Yeah. And all their a lot of their friends had gone to the Philly shows, so they were just, so sad about it. And they were, he had been talking about it, and their middle daughter was like, if we get tickets, I want to go, get a Fearless dress, all this stuff. And I was, thinking in my head, I'm like, girl, if we get tickets, it's going to be last minute. There's going to be no time for a Fearless dress. But
and you won't even care.
You won't
once
care.
You're there.
And so we, literally ran through McDonald's, to eat something before we get there. We get to the show. We got there right at 6:30. But by the time we got in, Gail was already done her set, which they don't care. They don't even know any Gail songs. It was whatever. And then we were, walking into the stadium, and we had floor seats. And in Philly, I know, you have to go in a certain section with floor seats, but I wasn't sure how it was at MetLife. And so we walk in, they let us in. Because in Philly, they won't even let you walk through. They're you need to go to, your... So we walk through. I'm like, okay, we're fine. It must not be like this here. So then we go to get on the floor, and the guy's like, you need wristbands. I'm like, cool. I'm like, where do we get wristbands? He's like, all the way 4 sections down. I'm like, cool. So we walk all the way down there, we get there, and their middle daughter had to go to the bathroom. She had to pee so bad. She's in tears, I have to pee. I'm like, nice. So we walk in, and in Philly, when you walk in, they hand you a bracelet as they scan your ticket. It's not like that at MetLife. They have a table that you have to go. So it was chaos. It was a big crowd. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk around this crowd and try and take her to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy standing there, checking wristbands and tickets, and he's like, I can't let you in until you have a wristband. I'm like, she's gonna pee herself. And he's like, okay, 1 second. So he walked back, grabbed us our wristbands.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't have to wait in the chaos. I was like,
life
thank
hack.
you, sir.
That life hack.
Yes, literally. Just have a child with you that's on the verge of tears, and then you don't have to wait. So he slapped wristbands on us really quick, and we ran to the bathroom. She used the bathroom, and I said to her, I'm like, sis, we ain't going again.
This is your last chance. Get
chance.
It all out.
You better go to the bathroom. And that's it. Because once Taylor goes on, we're not leaving. And it was just amazing, the whole thing, the whole night. And one of my favorite parts of it was when we got there, their oldest was like, can we make a TikTok, guessing the surprise songs? Aww. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we do it, and I'm like, I said, welcome to New York, because it was MetLife Night 1. I just assumed that's what she was going to do. And I said, right where you left me, because what is she waiting for? Why hasn't she played that yet?
I don't know.
And then she grabs the phone from me, and she's like, I think she's going to play Maroon.
Wow.
And then she played Maroon! And she also played Getaway Car, which is one of our favorite songs altogether. The 4 of us sing that in the car all the time. It's just...
I don't even talk about it. I am jealous.
I'm actually very satisfied with all the secret songs that I saw.
Good. Yeah, I feel the same way. Honestly, any secret song.
True. I don't think there would have been anything
There have been 2 that have absolutely devastated me that happened before my Philly shows, but then The Great War and Treacherous are my 2 of my all-time favorite songs.
I love. And I love I Bet You Think About Me. That's one of my favorite songs she's ever written. So that one was a little hard.
It's every night I'm like, oh, wow, I would have loved to see that one. But I'm like, I say that about every single night.
True, but I did have a list, and Getaway Car, Maroon, and Comeback Beat Here were all on it, and I heard all 3 of those. So I can die satisfied.
Whatever. I was there for Comeback Beat Here. So
yeah.
I can live with that.
That's a good one.
It's such a good song. Shout out to Phoebe for requesting it.
Yeah, but that's my Eras Tour ordeal.
It's so chaotic.
We were planning on talking about our Taylor journey, but I feel like we should save that for the next episode.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because we've talked for such a long time at this point. If you've made it this far in the episode, literally bless your soul.
Shout out. Because what is this? We're insane.
We still don't even have a name for this podcast, so if you're hearing this, we've figured it out.
Yeah, hopefully.
I don't think we can launch it without a name.
No, we totally can't. It's just no name, playlist number 1. Something.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
So, what a time.
What a time. But you know what? We went, and we are going to go to the Eras Tour again. I believe it.
We're going to the last show.
No, we are.
We're going to closing night. LA, we'll see you soon.
I'm so pissed. See, I didn't even... Wow. Yeah. I won't go into the whole story, but I was in LA when tickets went on sale, seeing Harry Styles. It was November 15th. Was it November? Yeah, that was the day. Harry Styles' last show of the year. I flew to LA with my friend Taylor, not to be confused with Taylor Swift. But we flew to LA, and that was the day tickets went on sale for Taylor Swift. And that was like a whole... We were running around LA, like, trying to see some sites, take some pics, and I have my laptop, and I'm in the queue for Taylor Swift tickets. It was a hot mess, and I was so upset.
I was sitting in my home peacefully and was stressed. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, at that point, my sister had gotten us Philly tickets earlier because of the time difference, so I was, like, good. I was like, seeing her.
I have tickets,
I'm
so
okay.
I'm fine.
So I was just trying for opening night, so that was the whole thing. I completely missed the Capital One sale because I was on a plane. And that's when I was going to try for LA tickets. And I'm so upset that I never got the chance to.
Yeah, the amount of money that I'm willing to spend to see closing night is actually, like, someone needs to check me into a facility. But I don't care.
It's all because, too, that I have myself convinced she's playing Long Live that night.
Me too.
And
I just need to hear it live.
Either that or she'll play it on the day she releases Speak Now Taylor's version.
I think that's a possibility too.
But either way, I don't care. Like, again, I don't care what the surprise songs are. I need to be there for the last night. I just need to.
I need to be there for the last night. And especially, we were talking about this yesterday, that if she changes the set list after Speak Now comes out, I have to. There's no way I can miss it.
Prices are going to skyrocket again if that happens.
I feel like we should probably buy them before.
We should do it.
Okay. just let me know.
I'll transfer the money right now.
I'll send you.
I love being delusional.
It's, honestly, it's a good place to be. Mm-hmm. Just living in La La Land out here.
No, literally.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, I don't know how we're going to close this, but I think we're done.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was fun, and I'm excited for all the things
we have so much to talk about.
Like, we have so much to talk about. We have so many, like, ideas, and I wasn't worried. I knew once we got started, we would not stop talking. Yeah, this is crazy. This episode's probably over an hour.
Amazing.
All right, well, thanks for listening, and
thank you.
Stay tuned for more Taylor content.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Can't wait.
All
See
right.
ya.
See ya.